Hi, my name is Zoe, and today we're going to talk about why you hate that zodiac sign. So many of you hate a sign. You are all entitled to your feelings and your experiences. I don't want you to feel like I am invalidating them by making this video. Many of you don't like a sign or constantly feel drawn to a sign because of an experience that you've had, often a bad experience, or multiple bad experiences with that sign. And those experiences are very valid. But today, I want to talk to you about how closing yourself off or distancing yourself from that sign is a bigger problem than you think it is. And I probably won't get into all of it today. I'll definitely make more videos on this because I get so many comments like this, so I feel like I should address it. Let's start with number one. It limits you. Closing yourself off to an entire group of people only inhibits your ability to find love. That should be reason enough to get into this, right? Number two, we each embody all 12 signs. And we often have placements in the signs that we're trying to avoid or hate on. So when we dislike a sign, chances are we're not fully integrating that part of ourselves. For example, when I was new to astrology and still learning, I immediately decided after a really bad breakup that Sagittarius and I did not vibe. Little did I know at the time that my rising sign is actually Sagittarius. And because of my breakup and the trauma that I faced, I wasn't actually navigating Sagittarius on my own chart. And we have to navigate our chart for it to work, okay? We have to navigate it. It's a tool. So when you are detached from a certain sign and you are a part of that sign, you are basically detaching from a part of yourself. There's a disconnect. Number three, every sign has good traits and bad traits associated with it. And what can become really good can also become really bad. For example, Pisces are deeply connected to the dream world, and they often find themselves processing things through their very vivid imagination and creativity, and they're deeply emotional beings. But the downside to that is that when they're dealing with something really challenging and difficult, they try to escape into that dream world and often try to lose themselves instead of confronting the issue and dealing with the consequences and the confrontation. They might try to lose themselves in their art or their creativity, and they just don't know how to confront conflict head on. So if you're dating one of them and you're trying to deal with conflict with them, and one of them just kind of goes away or starts drinking or does something that, you know, is like, I don't want to be here, I'm avoiding this moment, I'm escaping, leaving you alone, then yeah, you're going to feel like that. You're going to feel bad. Like if you're trying to remain grounded and you're trying to face the conflict head on, but your partner is a Pisces, and that Pisces just does not know how to face conflict like you, they could be going out the door or getting very emotionally involved. And you might have a really bad experience because you just don't understand that they have a really different way of processing their pain and emotions. So you can see how that can lead to this traumatic feeling of, okay, I don't want to be around Pisces anymore. I don't want to date another Pisces. Like, why would you want to date someone else who does that, right? Or a lot of people hate Geminis. They call them hot and cold or sociopaths or crazy. But Geminis are very misunderstood. They're constantly processing information and learning. And they do care very deeply, especially when they fully commit to someone. But when they get overwhelmed because they're mercurial and therefore deal with a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, even if they don't show it, they can detach from that situation to cope. And so they can appear very cold, which can give them this kind of like sociopath effect, right? That's what a lot of people see. And so they don't really see them as people who are very nurturing or kind or grounded, right? And so you see that there are good traits and bad traits, right? There's a good side and a bad side, and it all depends on what's going on in their life, the situation. Like, it's not just something you can just point out and say, oh, that's a Gemini, so they're crazy. Instead of being able to really apply this information that they're processing, they can become more factual. They start throwing out facts or using the facts, so they can seem like they lack empathy. And people often call them manipulative. But Geminis aren't manipulative. They have this really strong way of using the information that they receive and that they learn and applying it to get what they want. And sometimes that can come across as manipulative. And so people think that Geminis are narcissists or they're not being authentic. And sometimes you can be too good at communicating to the point where it looks like you know exactly what to say, but every sign does this in its own way. And instead of trying to understand them, we label them as psycho and crazy. And we just focus a lot on the negative, and we forget all the amazing experiences they have to offer us. And when a Gemini is healthy, they're excellent communicators, they're very adaptable, they're very fun, energetic personalities that are great to be around. It's exciting and they make great partners, and they also are very intelligent and quick-witted. So they do have a lot to offer. I'll be making a part 2 where I get into more about what you need to know about your sign and why you might not be attracted to a certain sign, or why you keep finding yourself in situations with a certain sign, or maybe you always attract a certain sign to you. I know for me, I always attract Virgos into my life. I have so many Virgos in my life. Oh my God. Like, can't we just shake it up? This is exactly why I want to make this kind of content, because I get so many people who really just don't understand how the zodiac signs work and astrology and how they can use that to better understand themselves. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please comment below. Let me know if there is a sign that keeps coming into your life, whether you like it or not, or whether there is some zodiac sign that you've dated over and over again. I just want to know your story. What is this pattern look like for you? What does it look like for you? Toodaloo.